So hi guys, welcome back to the ICC Women's T20 World Cup 2026. It was a rest day yesterday. And today one match has finished. New Zealand women winning against Scotland and picking up their second win. And New Zealand women keeping themselves alive in this tournament, although New Zealand will need a whole lot of results to go their way because West Indies and England are still unbeaten in this tournament with 3 wins each. So if both West Indies and England win one more game, then New Zealand will be knocked out even if they win all their remaining games. So they are dependent on other results to go their way, but New Zealand women have done their part by keeping themselves alive in this tournament. And now Sri Lanka, even they have lost 2 games and even they need other results to go their way. First of all, this is a must-win game for Sri Lanka because if Sri Lanka loses this game, then they will be out of the tournament. They will be officially eliminated from this tournament. But the chances of that happening is very, very less because the opposition is Ireland. Down the track, and Stokel finds the gap and beats mid off. They'll run away for 4. So Stokel gets off the mark with the boundary. Beautiful use of the feet there. So first boundary of the innings for Ireland women, and Stokel finding the boundary. They've already lost 2 wickets here. Ireland in a lot of trouble here, losing 2 wickets early on. Sri Lanka winning the toss and electing to bowl first, which is an interesting decision considering, but I think Sri Lanka like to chase because they chased well against New Zealand when they won that game, so they like to chase. But I think Sri Lanka's loss against West Indies has put them in a precarious position because that game for Sri Lanka against West Indies was a very, very important game for Sri Lanka. If they had won that game, then they could be seriously pushing for the playoffs because their remaining games are against Ireland and Scotland. But unfortunately, they lost against West Indies. So that has put West Indies in a better position to qualify because West Indies can defeat Ireland and then they can qualify. Even if they lose to England, it won't matter because 4 wins is enough to qualify now. That is how the group is looking. So Sugandhika Kumari back into the attack. Continues into her second over. Starts with a wide down the leg side. Amy Hunter and Orla Prendergast both have been dismissed for a duck. And now KB Lewis, the captain, and Rebecca Stokel trying to rescue the innings here. Obviously, Ireland are a little inexperienced. Sri Lanka are favourites in this game. Sri Lanka should be favourites to win this and also win against Scotland. But that might not be enough to qualify because the most important game was against West Indies. Down the track, Stokel goes over the top. Over mid-off, that'll run away for 4. Again, good use of the feet from Stokel. Second boundary of this innings for Ireland. Third ball of the over coming up. This time looking for the cut shot and Stokel unable to make connection. Another dot ball from Sugandhika Kumari. Three more deliveries left in this over. Down the track again and Stokel goes down the ground, pass mid on. That'll be 4 more. Really batting well here, Rebecca Stokel. Second boundary in this over, once again using the feet and beating that fielder at mid-on. So actually Ireland in their previous game, they should have won against New Zealand. because second wicket partnership was going really nicely and the required run rate was not that high. But that's the problem with these inexperienced teams, isn't it? They just don't know how to seal the win towards the end. They will bottle a lot of winning positions. We have seen that with quite a lot of inexperienced teams in international cricket. They will bring themselves into a situation where they can win and then they won't win. We have seen it with Nepal in men's T20 cricket, men's T20 World Cups. We have seen where Nepal lost out by a narrow margin against England in the recently concluded men's T20 World Cup, and then they lost against South Africa in the previous men's T20 World Cup. So all these teams, they are able to fight, they are able to take the game close, but they are not able to close out the game when it matters the most. 10 runs came from that over from Sugandhika Kumari, and Ireland women are 19 for 2 after 4 overs. Because Ireland were in a really good position actually against New Zealand. They should have won that game. But somehow they couldn't, they lacked the experience to close it out. And now they are really struggling here. Mithali Ayodhya continuing into her third over. Down the track, driven in the air and taken at covers. There's another wicket falls. Just a soft dismissal there, driving it in the air. Stokel straight into the hands of covers. Third wicket goes down for Ireland. And Rebecca Stokel was looking so good, hit 3 boundaries. Has just given catching practice there at covers, and Ireland really struggling here. Mithali Ayodhya gets her first wicket of the day. Third wicket goes down. Rebecca Stokel out after scoring 13 from 12 balls, and Ireland women reeling at 19 for 3 after 4.1 overs. So Leah Paul is the new batter to the crease for Ireland women, coming in at number 5, and that's 2 wide from Mithali Ayodhya. 2 wide, has to reload that one again. So Ireland women lacking some experience in the middle order probably, as we see another dot ball here. Samari Attappattu was a little harsh on herself yesterday, saying that she couldn't take Sri Lanka to the semi-finals of a World Cup after playing for so many years. So she called herself a failed captain. I don't think you should be so harsh on yourself sometimes. So 2 consecutive dot balls, still 3 more deliveries left in this over. Fourth ball of the over coming up. Flicked away this time by Leah Paul towards deep mid wicket and picks up another single. Gaby Lewis is back on strike. Good over this from Mithali Ayodhya. Just 2 runs coming from this over. Yeah, coming back to what I was trying to talk about, like Chamari Attabutu yesterday was saying that she is a failed captain because she couldn't take Sri Lanka women to semi-finals of a World Cup. You don't need to be so harsh on yourself because actually she won the Women's Asia Cup in 2024. That was a fantastic win, defeating India against all odds in that final, chasing down 160 plus. They won the Women's Asia Cup 2024, but to win a World Cup, it's never easy actually because Sena teams and India is very, very good when it comes to World Cups. So defeating them, even making it to the semi-final for a team like Sri Lanka is a very, very tough thing. Although they had a realistic chance in this tournament because they defeated New Zealand, but they needed to defeat West Indies. If they had done that, they would have come through to the semis, but they couldn't do it. That's right up in the block hole, driven again towards covers, can't take the single. Another dot ball to finish the over. So 3 runs came from that over, including the wicket of Rebecca Stockel, and Ireland women are 22 for 3 after 5 overs. Nimasha Madhushani is the new bowler into the attack. Again starts with a dot ball. Second ball of the over coming up. Around the wicket again, Nimasha Madhushani. Tossed up this time, driven again down the ground straight to mid-off. And another dot ball here. And Scotland and Ireland have tried hard to cause upsets, but unfortunately their inexperience is costing them during crucial moments of games. Scotland were very close to defeating West Indies as well. Down the track, driven in the gap. This might run away, will it? Will it go away for 4? No, good fielding. And Gaby Lewis will come back for 3. 3 runs completed by Gaby Lewis. Three more deliveries left in this over. Leah Paul back on strike. This time flicked away again by Paul towards mid-wicket and picks up another single. 4 runs have come from this over so far, still 2 balls left. Looking for the sweep straight to short fine leg. Another dot ball from Madhushani. Last ball of the over. Shot this time, pulled away by Lewis. Might have found the gap. Yes, she has. Ends the over with a boundary. It was going long quiet till that point. Last ball of the over goes for 4. 8 runs came from that over. And first boundary for Gaby Lewis in this innings. And Ireland women are 30 for 3 after 6 overs after the power play. And it's also the time for the drinks break. So we come to the end of the drinks break, and it's Kavisha Dilhari who is the new bowler into the attack. Has bowled a really good over so far. There's 2 runs coming from the 4 balls of this over, and Ireland need to post something around 120 and 130 to challenge Sri Lanka. Well, Sri Lanka's batting didn't do well in the previous game against West Indies. They were bundled out cheaply in the previous game. So Sri Lanka's batting has also struggled. It has been inconsistent. You produce a run chase of 150 out of nowhere, and then suddenly you crumble once again. It's been that kind of a story for Sri Lanka women. And they are heavily dependent on Chamari Attapattu to score the runs. You cannot be so dependent on one batter like that. That has been the story, that has been the problem for a long time now. Other batters are not consistent. Last ball of the over. Looking for the cut shot, unable to make connection. Another dot ball to finish the over. Just 2 runs came from that over from Kavisha Dilhari. And Ireland women are 32 for 3 after 7 overs. So current run rate 4.57. Madhushani continuing. Nimasha Madhushani continuing into her second over. Gabby Lewis is on strike. Nimasha around the wicket, left arm off spinner, and is driven again back at the bowler. Another dot ball to start the over. This time down the track, drives it towards cover. Chance of run out at the keeper's end, but I think the batter has made it back. The batter has made it back. So it will be not out. Nearly a miscommunication there. Wanted the single, Gabby Lewis, but then sent back. Umpire rightfully signals it as not out. Back-to-back dot balls to start this over. Just about made it back there. So not getting the boundaries here at regular intervals. It's going along slowly for Ireland women. This time again driven it straight to covers. Another dot ball here. This is kind of expected with all these associate teams involved. It's such a cruel format where even 3 wins out of 5 games does not guarantee a spot in the semi-final, or does not help you qualify for the semi-final. It's driven again down the ground to long on, and Gabby Lewis picks up another single. Because technically Sri Lanka women can get 3 wins out of 5 games. And you're looking at a campaign where 3 wins out of 5 games is actually a good performance. But such is the brutality of this T20 World Cup format, that 2 defeats means you are out of the tournament, because West Indies and England can win 4 games or even 5 games, and only 2 teams can qualify. So same is the case with India's group as well. Now India have already lost to South Africa. Now if they lose to Australia, they will be out of the tournament. They will have 3 wins in 5 games, but they will be out. And that is because only a handful of big teams in the group. And basically all these smaller ranked teams, they are not able to cause upsets, means you need to defeat the big teams. If you are losing to the big teams, then you will be eliminated. That is the brutality of this format. Leah Paul hits it down the ground again to long on and picks up another single to finish that over. So another good over here for Sri Lanka. Just 2 runs coming from that over from Nimasha Madhushani. And Ireland women are 34 for 3 after 8 overs. And Kavisha Dilhari now coming around the wicket. Leah Paul looking to sweep it away, sweeps it towards short fine leg and picks up another single to start the over. Gabby Lewis is back on strike. This time driven again, straight to covers, another dot ball. Oh, that's driven again, it's in the gap. And they'll run away for 4, beautifully placed by Gabby Lewis. Found the gap beautifully there and picks up her second boundary in this innings. They need plenty more of these boundaries because too many dot balls does not help. So fourth ball of the over coming up. Let's cut away again and the gap again. 4 more back-to-back boundaries for Gabby Lewis. Played it much finer on that occasion in the gap between point and third man, and some valuable boundaries here for Ireland. And this time it's flicked away again towards deep square leg, coming back for 2. And Gabby Lewis will pick up another couple of runs. So 11 runs have come from this over, still 1 ball left. This time pulled away again towards deep square leg again. Deep square leg comes around and Gabby Lewis picks up another couple of runs to finish the over. So 13 runs came from that over from Kavisha Dilhari, and Ireland women are 47 for 3 after 9 overs. Mm-hmm. 11 overs left in this innings. Nimasha Madhushani continuing into her third over, and Leah Paul hits it down the ground. Another dot ball to start the over. This time driven again, straight to mid-off. This time goes for the reverse and gets it away over the top, and that'll run away for 4. 50 comes up for Ireland. 50 comes up in 9.2 overs at the loss of 3 wickets. Really good improvisation from Leah Paul. And this time Leah Paul plays it away, picks up another single. So Ireland women going at a current run rate of 5.48. In this partnership now 34 from 33 balls after losing 3 wickets in the power play. Both these batters are steadying it really well here. Gaby Lewis hitting 3 boundaries, Leaha Paul hitting 1 boundary. Although they need to get a competitive total if they want to even have a chance of winning, because Sri Lanka can also chase it down. That's on the pads this time. Paul flicks it away leg side towards deep mid wicket and picks up another single. 7 runs have come from this over, still 1 ball left. This time swept away by Leaha Paul, finds the gap and finds the boundary. Beautiful sweep shot there. Deep square leg had no chance. A good over again for Ireland. 11 runs came from that over. And Ireland women are 58 for 3 after 10 overs. Well, if anyone wants to rewind back to India versus South Africa, that game in South Africa's run chase, South Africa women were chasing 159 and South Africa women were 59 for 2 after 10 overs. And at that stage it looked as though India will win the game. But then obviously Marizanne Kapp played all those knocks and then South Africa ended up winning. But if you want to compare that situation with this situation, Ireland women are only 1 run behind South Africa after their first 10 overs. Taking inspiration from a big team, South Africa. They are considered to be a big team, although they have not won any World Cup in any format till now. But still they are a big team, they always come to the knockouts. Chamari Attapattu is the new bowler into the attack for Sri Lanka. Captain bringing herself into the attack. Around the wicket Attapattu, and let's cut away again towards point, and they'll get a single. Gaby Lewis gets the single. Leaha Paul gets the single. Gaby Lewis is back on strike. This time goes on to the back foot, flicks it away again towards deep square leg. Another single, this time from Gaby Lewis. This partnership now 41 from 38 balls between Leaha Paul and Gaby Lewis. Building up really well, this partnership. This time again on the stumps, defended away towards covers and picks up another single. So 3 singles in this over. Still 3 balls left. Looking for the sweep this time, gets it on the pads. Another dot ball. He's a very, very wily bowler. Chamari Attapattu bowls all the variations, mixes up her pace. Is not predictable at all by any means. Well, they've gone upstairs for the review here. That didn't look like it was going to be out. It's in the helmet, in fact, of the batter. But they've gone for the review for the LBW. The thing is that you can be given out LBW if the helmet is in line of the stumps. Goodness gracious me. If this is going to be out, then this will be one of the weirdest ways to get out. Well, it's given as not out, and that is because the ball hit the helmet, so the concussion check will happen. Very, very weird kind of a decision to go for the review there. This time comes down the wicket, drives it down the ground to long off. Gaby Lewis picks up another single. One more delivery left in this over. Leah Paul is back on strike. Last ball of the over. Swung away leg side again. Good fielding. Really good fielding there. And another couple of runs for Leah Paul to finish the over. So 6 runs came from that over from Jamari Attapattu, and Ireland women are 64 for 3 after 11 overs. Sugandhika Kumari is continuing into her third over. And again flicked away by Gaby Lewis, picks up another single to start the over. Leah Paul is back on strike. This time again tossed up and so 7 runs have come from this over, still 2 balls left. Some really good bowling here from Sugandhika Kumari. Leah Paul is back on strike. 50 partnership also comes up between these two batters. Partnership of 52 from 45 balls between Gaby Lewis and Leah Paul. They batted really well. They were in early trouble in the power play, losing a lot of wickets. But this is turning out to be a good partnership, building up. Eight runs have come from this over. Last ball of the over coming up. Ooh, beats the outside edge there. And a little bit of an appeal there, but the umpire says not out. So another dot ball to finish the over. So 8 runs came from that over from Sugandhika Kumari, and Ireland women are 72 for 3 after 12 overs. 8 overs left in this innings. They can get to 130, 140. It will be a good total. Chamari at up at 2 now, continuing into her second over. You never know with those 120s and 130s. As Leah Hapal comes down the wicket, hits it down the ground to long on and picks up another single to start the over. Seriously, you never know with those 120s and 130s. Anything can happen in all honesty. That's pulled away leg side by Lewis. Oh, beats that fielder at deep square leg into the boundary for 4. Put in the dive there, that fielder at deep square leg. But unable to stop it. It's gone through. And another boundary here. Boundaries are flowing here for Ireland now. And suddenly now this partnership is proving to be a decisive factor. Now then, this partnership is really looking good here for Ireland. Partnership of 60 now. There's a couple of runs. It's beautifully flicked away by Lewis. Picks up a couple of runs. 60-run partnership from 50 balls between these two batters. 7 runs have come from this over. Still 3 balls left. Point and picks up another single. Leah Hapal is back on strike. Oh, that's another absolute Jaffa. Absolute Jaffa there. Beats the outside edge of Leah Hapal. This time goes for the reverse, gets it over the top, and deep square dead. Deep point does really well. Excellent fielding at deep point. Another couple of runs for So 10 runs came from that over from Chamari at upper 2, and Ireland women are 82 for 3 after 13 overs. So Nilakshi De Silva is the new bowler into the attack now for Sri Lanka women. Leah Hapal is on strike. It's been a fantastic partnership. Partnership of 61 from 51 balls. It's good to see associate nations recovering from tough situations. Nilakshi De Silva over the wicket, sets on the pads. Flicked away by Gabby Lewis towards deep mid wicket, looking to push for 2. Will pick up another couple of runs. Will pick up another couple of runs here. Third ball of the over coming up. This time driven again back at the bowler. Another dot ball. Fourth ball of the over. It's driven again down the ground. Oh, good fielding by the bowler. But they'll still get the single. Got a hand on it but couldn't stop the single. Another single for Gaby Lewis. 2 more deliveries left in this over. 3 runs have come from this over so far. Good over for Sri Lanka. 2 more deliveries left in this over. Leah Paul is back on strike. Coming around the wicket now, Nilakshi De Silva. She's a good batter. She's brought into bowl now. This time again driven back at the bowler. Another dot ball here from Nilakshi De Silva. I tell you what, Ireland can still push for a win here. They can get a good total on the board. They can try to defend it. Sri Lanka's batting has been vulnerable. You just don't know actually. You just never know. Goes for the paddle and I think it's been taken by the wicket keeper. Finger goes up and Nilakshi De Silva strikes. Was looking for the paddle shot, but unfortunately has paddled it right into the keeper's gloves, and the partnership has been broken. Leah Paul has to go, and what a bowling change, what an inspired bowling change to bring in Nilakshi De Silva on to bowl, and she gets the breakthrough. A fantastic over, just 3 runs coming from that over. It was not a wicket taking delivery by any means. It was a kind of a tossed up delivery there. Leah Paul premeditated the lap and lapped it straight into the hands of the wicket keeper. So Ireland women lose their 4th wicket. Leah Paul is gone. Leah Paul is gone after scoring 20 from 27 balls, and Ireland are now 85 for 4 after 14 overs. So that was a good partnership actually between Leah Paul and Gaby Lewis, but unfortunately coming to an end. So Ireland women are 85 for 4 after 14 overs, and it's also the time for the drinks break. So we come to the end of the drinks break, and Ali Stector is the new batter to the crease, coming in at number 6. Kavisha Dilhari back into the attack, starts with a dot ball to start the over. Some really good bowling there from Nilakshi De Silva in the previous over, getting the wicket as well. This time again punched back at the bowler. Does good fielding. Another dot ball. So now trying to pull things back here, Sri Lanka. Three more deliveries left in this over. Short and wide, cut away, finds the gap. What was that fielder at point doing? I'm not able to understand. Just was watching there. And the ball is raced away for a valuable boundary here for Ireland. The width on offer there from Kavisha Dilhari. Gaby Lewis picks up the boundary, brings up a half century as well. It's been a terrific knock this. 50 from 44 balls. No, 50 from 40 balls. With 7 boundaries at a strike rate of 125. Outstanding knock under pressure. This time, Ali Stector is back on strike. 2 more deliveries left in this over. This time goes on to the back foot there, flicks it away leg side. Ali Stector gets off the mark with a single. Gaby Lewis is back on strike. She's been the pick of the batters as far as Ireland is concerned in this innings. Are we seeing a game similar to what we saw with Bangladesh versus Sri Lanka, if anyone remembers that game? Last ball of the over coming up. Tossed up again. Tector coming down the wicket, getting hit on the pads. Appeal for LBW. Umpire says not out. And it will be another dot ball to finish the over. 6 runs came from that over from Kavisha Dilhari. And Ireland women are 91 for 4 after 15 overs. 5 more overs to go in this innings. So 5 overs left in this innings. Nilakshi De Silva continuing into the attack. And again starts with a dot ball to start the over. Really good bowling once again from Nilakshi De Silva. Ali Stector is on strike. For 5 overs they can get to 130, 140. This time driven again. Down the ground to mid-off and picks up another single. Down the leg side, I think. Has to reload that one again. Two runs from the first 3 balls of this over. Oh, again played away. Picks up it's another wide actually from Nilakshi De Silva. Has to reload that one again. Back-to-back wides. Has driven again back at the bowler. Another dot ball. So just 3 runs coming from this over. Really good over. This Nilakshi De Silva is proving to be a very, very good quality all-rounder. Bowling well and batting well, in all honesty. 3 more deliveries left in this over. Gaby Lewis needs to find the boundary here. Flicked in the air. And it's 1 bounce and into the boundary for 4 towards deep mid-wicket. Told you she needs to find the boundary and she has hurt me, I think. And Gaby Lewis really doing well with the bat here. Sri Lanka need to contain the runs here. This time driven again down the ground to long off and picks up another single. Gaby Lewis picks up another single. Alice Tector is back on strike. 8 runs have come from this over. Still 1 ball left. Last ball of the over and again flicked away by Alice Tector towards deep mid-wicket. And picks up another single to finish the over. 100 comes up for Ireland women. 100 comes up in 16 overs. Ireland women are 100 for 4 after 16 overs. So Nimasha Madhushani bowling the 17th over of this innings. And again Alice Tector drives it to point and picks up another single to start the over. This time driven again. Driven again by Gaby Lewis, picks up another single, 2 singles to start this over. Third ball of the over is again flatter through the air and Alice Tector again flicks it away, picks up another single. Third ball of the over, flicked away again, down the ground, towards long on, another single. Four singles in this over, still 2 balls left. Good over once again from Nimasha Madhushani. This time quicker ball again, punched back to the bowler. Nimasha Madhushani has been a find for Sri Lanka women, bowled really well. in all the games that she has played so far. This time driven again down the ground towards long on. Another single to finish the over. That's not going to hurt Sri Lanka by any means. 5 runs came from that over. Namasha Madhushani finishes her spell. None for 26 in her 4 overs. And Ireland women are 105 for 4 after 17 overs. So 3 more overs left in this innings, and Ireland women have recovered well, it has to be said, because they were in big problems when they lost 3 wickets in the power play. But now they are looking much more comfortable, in all honesty. So Sugandhika Kumari is going to bowl the 18th over here. 3 more overs left in this innings. And Sugandhika Kumari tossing it up, and Ali Stector comes down the wicket, finds the gap and finds the boundary. Fielder at covers, unable to stop it. Another important boundary here for Ireland women. Ali Stector finally finding the boundary. Great way to start the over. This time on the pads, looking to flick it away. It's gone off the pads. Another dot ball from Sugandhika Kumari. Ali Stector has to find the boundaries here. We're into the last 3 overs. Scotland scored 131 in the previous game and almost made a match out of it by dismissing New Zealand's top order early. So can they do something like that again? That is the big question. Can Ireland do something like that to Sri Lanka? It's not impossible, because Sri Lanka's batting has also shown vulnerability, although they have defeated New Zealand in this tournament. Well, they're checking for the wide, or are they checking for the stumping here? I think they're checking for something. They want to know whether it's a wide or not. They're checking for the stumping. I don't think it's going to be out stumped. That is for sure. Well, they're checking for the LBW. But the impact is outside the line. There's no way that's going to be out. So it won't be LBW. Yeah, not out it will be. Maybe they reviewed for no, I don't think you can review wides and no balls, can you? In international cricket, you cannot review wides and no balls. Well, it is given as a wide. It is given as a wide. So it will have to be reloaded. Extra run here for Ireland. Second ball of the over again coming up. And this time flicked away by Elise Tector towards deep mid wicket. Picks up another single. Gabby Lewis is back on strike. So that's swung away by Gabby Lewis, the fielder. Oh, can't get hold of it. Put in the dive there at deep square leg. Thought for a moment it was a catching opportunity, but unable to hold on to it there. And Gabby Lewis again picks up another single. That was a fantastic effort though at deep square leg. This time down the track again, and Elise Tector hits it down the ground towards long on and picks up another single. So this is a good over from Sugandhika Kumari. Just 7 runs have come from this over, still 1 ball left. The last ball of the over. Oh, looking for the sweep, uphill for LBW, maybe outside the line. Another dot ball to finish the over. 7 runs came from that over from Sugandhika Kumari. And Ireland women are 112 for 4 after 18 overs. So 2 more overs left in this innings. Ireland women, they've rescued themselves well, but they need to finish well here. That is the challenging part. Chamari Attapattu bowling the penultimate over, and that's driven against right to covers by Elise Tector. Another dot ball to start the over. Good use of the feet again by Elise Tector. This time she goes again down the ground towards long on, just a single. Singles are not going to help at this stage because only 10 balls left in this innings for Ireland. Gabby Lewis is back on strike. Oh, bowled. There's another one. Another wicket goes down. Gabby Lewis came down the wicket, yorked herself, and once again Chamari Attapattu and her ability to pick up wickets at this stage. It was too full, and Gabby Lewis couldn't make contact. But nevertheless, it's been a terrific innings from Gabby Lewis here at a much-needed half-century under pressure. But she has to go. Very, very important wicket at this stage for Sri Lanka. Gabby Lewis is out after scoring 59 from 50 balls. And Ireland women are 113 for 5 after 18.3 overs. There's 3 more deliveries left in the over. It's tossed up. Little is the new batter to the crease. Lewis Little is the new batter to the crease. Drives it straight to covers and gets off the mark with a single. 2 more deliveries left in this over. This time again down the track. Oh, beats that fielder at covers. Is down the ground to long off. They'll come back for 2. Really good running between the wickets. Another couple of runs for Ali Stector. The last ball of the over coming up. Full toss, driven away again, finds the gap again. Will that run away to the boundary for 4, will it? No, it won't. Deep extra covers comes around. They're coming back for 3. Really good running. 3 runs completed once again to finish that over. So 7 runs came from that over from Chamaria Tapattu, including the big wicket of KB Lewis. And Ireland women are 119 for 5 after 19 overs. So 1 more over left in this innings, and it's going to be Mithali Ayodhya who will be bowling the last over. We saw in the game between Bangladesh women and Pakistan women where Bangladesh batted first and scratched their way to 123, and that was enough to defend, that was enough to win the game for Bangladesh. So you never know with all these 120 totals actually. These 120s and 130s can also be challenging totals to chase down, particularly in women's cricket. If it was men's cricket, then the scenario will be completely different. But in women's T20 cricket, in these kind of conditions, anything can be defended or anything can be chased down. That's gone off the pads again, picks up another single. 2 singles to start this over. Ali Stector is back on strike. So leg by single has been given here, and Ali Stector is back on strike. 4 more deliveries left in this innings. Goes for the paddle over the keeper. That'll run away for 4. Valuable runs. Valuable runs from Ali Stector. Improvisation at its best. And picks up another boundary here. Score moves to 125 with still 3 balls left in this innings. Fourth ball of the over coming up. Can they get their way above 130? Down the track again. Hits it down the ground. It's beaten mid-off. They'll run away for 4 back-to-back boundaries. From Ali Stector. What an innings this is towards the end. And they're getting closer to 130. It's getting closer to a tricky territory for Sri Lanka, you would think, because these kind of totals can be very, very tricky to chase down in these conditions. There's a terrific knock here under pressure from Ali Stector. The 5th ball of the over. Again giving herself too much room, looking to access the offside but doesn't make contact. So it's a dot ball from Mithali Ayodhya. She's moving across to the leg stump, looking to give herself enough room to hit it through the offside, but not able to make contact. So 1 more delivery left in this innings. 10 runs have come from this last over. Last ball of the innings coming up. Really do appreciate the fight given by these associate nations. That's driven again. Covers, comes around, does well. Little fumble. They're going to come back for 2. No, they are not. Just a single to finish off the innings. So just 11 runs came from the last over. Terrific finish there from Ali Stector with those 2 boundaries in the last over. And Ireland women finished their 20 overs on exactly 130 for 5 at the end of their 20 overs, which could be a very, very tricky total to chase down. If Ireland can bowl well, then maybe, I don't know whether they are defending, I don't know whether they can defend this total, but definitely they can try to make a match out of it if they can pick up few early wickets or even try and get rid of Chamari Atapattu as early as possible, because we have seen that even it was a kind of it was not a good start for Ireland women. They started very, very slowly, lost 3 wickets in the power play. They were 19 for 3 after 4.1 overs, but that is when Leah Paul and Gaby Lewis got together for a 4th wicket partnership of 66 from 59 balls. And Gaby Lewis scoring a very, very crucial half century there. 59 from 50 balls with 8 boundaries at a strike rate of 118, and very good knock from Gaby Lewis. And Rebecca Stokell hit a few boundaries. Leah Paul also played well, 20 from 27 balls. And towards the end, it was Alice Tector who hit those boundaries, 28 from 21 balls with 3 boundaries at a strike rate of 133.33. And one would think that teams like Pakistan should be learning from these kind of teams, because even Ireland women is able to score 130, but Pakistan are not able to chase down 124 from these kind of teams. And if you look at Sri Lanka women's bowlers, Mithali Ayodhya 1 for 18 in her 4 overs, Sugandhika Kumari 1 for 26 in her 4 overs, Nimasha Madhushani none for 26 in her 4 overs, Kavisha Dilhari none for 21 in her 3 overs, Chamari Atapattu also bowled well, 1 for 23 in her 3 overs, and Nilakshi De Silva chipped in with a couple of overs, 1 for 12 as well. So Sri Lanka women, when they come out to bat, to keep their mathematical chances alive of qualifying for the semi-final, will need 131 runs to win this match from their full quota of 20 overs. We'll be back again shortly to cover the run chase. Until then, please stay tuned. So hi guys, welcome back to the run chase here. Terrific start here from both the Sri Lankan openers. A new opening partner for Chamari Attapattu today. And Chamari Attapattu has scored 21 from 14 deliveries with already 4 boundaries in her innings. And Vismi Gunaratne is not opening the batting today for Sri Lanka. It's Imesha Dulani who is opening the batting for Sri Lanka women. So they made a change in the opening combination. And they needed Attapattu to get off to a good start, and that is exactly what she has done. 10 runs have come from this over. Last ball of the over coming up. Has driven again down the ground to mid-off, and Chamari Attapattu picks up another single to finish the over. 11 runs came from that over from Kelly, and Sri Lanka women are 26 without loss after 3 overs. So McBride is the new bowler into the attack now for Ireland women. Lara McBride it is, and that's a short ball pulled away again by Chamari Attapattu. One bounce to deep mid wicket, and will pick up another couple of runs to start the over. 2 short to start with from McBride. And Attapattu starts the over well with a couple of runs. Tossed up on the stumps, and Attapattu again defends it back to the bowler. Another dot ball from McBride. Down the track, hits it through the covers for 4. Beautiful use of the feet there from Chamari Attapattu, and picks up her 5th boundary in this innings. It's been a one-woman show so far in this run chase for Sri Lanka. Attapattu moves to 28 from 18 balls, and the equation comes down to a run a ball for Sri Lanka women. Gets it over the top again, over covers, 4 more back-to-back boundaries. You cannot stop Chamari Attapattu when she's in this kind of form. Under a run ball now, the equation. Both the non-striker and the opposition are only spectators when Chamari Attapattu bats like this. This time it's pulled down the ground towards long on, and Chamari Attapattu picks up another single. This time Imesha Dulani looking for the sweep. It's towards short fine leg, and another dot ball to finish the over. A really good over there for Sri Lanka. 11 runs came from that over from Amy McBride, and Sri Lanka women are 37 without loss after 4 overs. So Ireland women have lost 3 out of 3 now. They lose this one, it will be 4 out of 4 losses for Ireland women. They're already out of the tournament. Oh, picks that one up beautifully there, and that'll run away for 4. Maguire back into the attack. Once again tossed up, and Atapattu, well, she doesn't want anyone else to bat today, I think. I mean, she's treating this like a batting practice, and starts the over with a boundary. This time swung away again towards deep square leg this time. 1 bounce and 4 back-to-back boundaries. But Chamari Attapattu moves into the 40s now. 41 from 22 balls. Her 8th boundary in this innings. 8 boundaries have been scored in this innings. All 8 boundaries coming off the bat of the Sri Lankan captain Chamari Attapattu. This time Maguire stops in her follow through. It's just 86 more needed now. Tossed up again, comes down the wicket in a little bit of an inside edge towards short mid wicket. Another dot ball. Oh, slog sweep again. In the gap again. 4 more. She's finding only gaps today. 3rd boundary in this over. Score is 49, and Chamari Attapattu has scored 45 out of these 49 runs. Well, this can be a boon and a bane for Sri Lanka, because you need other batters to also contribute. Because any day Chamari Attapattu gets out early, then suddenly the batting gets exposed. This time it's short again, pulled away towards deep mid wicket, and Chamari Attapattu picks up another single. 50 comes up for Sri Lanka women. 50 comes up in 4.5 overs without losing any wicket. Also brings up the 50-run partnership, opening partnership of 50. Oh, that's another good delivery there. Beats the outside edge. So a dot ball to finish that over, but an expensive over from Ireland here. 13 runs have come from that over. Sri Lanka off to the best possible start in this run chase. 50 without loss after 5 overs. If Sri Lanka wins this game and then wins against Scotland, mathematically they will still be alive, but they need... Obviously, West Indies and England are playing each other, so one of them will inevitably go to 8 points in the points table. The loser of England versus West Indies should also lose their last game. Then it will come down to net run rate, because then one team will get stuck in just 3 wins. So preferably, I think, New Zealand and Sri Lanka will want West Indies to win against England. Because West Indies' last game is an easier fixture compared to England. If England loses against West Indies, their last game will be up against New Zealand, which is still kind of 50-50. New Zealand are the defending champions, whatever it is. But if West Indies loses against England, then the ball will be in West Indies' court. England will already go to 88 points. West Indies will beat Ireland definitely. So Orla Prendergast is the new bowler into the attack. Guided again, good fielding at short third man. And another dot ball here. Required run rate is 5.52 for Sri Lanka. It's very much in control. This time pulled away again towards deep square leg, and Atapattu picks up another single. So Dulani is back on strikes. He hasn't had much of a role to play in this innings. Oh, that's driven beautifully through the covers. So she's saying, you know what, if Chamari Atapattu can hit boundaries, I can hit them too. And picks up her first boundary in this innings. Not from the bat of Atapattu, but Imesha Dulani picks up her first boundary in this innings, and they are literally enjoying themselves now. Just 76 more needed, and this should be an easy cakewalk towards the target, you would think, although we have seen many twists happen in the game of cricket. This time on the pads, and Imesha Dulani flicks it away, doesn't take the single. It's a dot ball here. Australia will surely top the group, and I think the winner of West Indies versus England will top this group. So the winner of West Indies versus England will not face Australia, because Australia are going to top India's group, that is for sure. Maybe the winner of West Indies versus England will face either India or South Africa, whoever qualifies in the other group. That is what will be the scenario. It will be 1 versus 2, 2 versus 1 in the semi-final. So we still don't know whether India is going to qualify or South Africa is going to qualify. Although I think South Africa have strengthened their chances of qualifying by defeating India in their previous game, but still South Africa's net run rate is not that good, and India can still beat Australia. It's not impossible at all. So you never know actually. You still don't know. India is still alive in the tournament. So whoever qualifies between India and South Africa, I think they will be facing the toppers of this group, which also we don't know. It's England versus West Indies. The winner of that game will surely top the group. So still many important matches left to see what happens. As Sri Lanka women are 55 without loss after 6 overs after the power play, and it's also the time for the drinks break. So we come to the end of the drinks break. Murray, new bowler into the attack, and Atapattu again hits it down the ground to long off and picks up another single to start the over. It's Kara Murray who is into the attack, a bowling change for Ireland. But it's looking very tough to defend this now after this kind of a start. The 130 was actually a good total. But these teams are too good, you would think, to chase down these totals. Or is it the inexperience of Ireland and Scotland? Probably, because they are associate nations, whatever it is. That's punched again straight to covers. Dot ball here. Imesha Dulani also giving good support to Chamari Atapattu. Ireland had one task in hand, to get Atapattu out as early as possible, but they have not managed to do that. And the required run rate has already come drastically down to 5.48. So definitely Sri Lanka are favourites from here. This time tossed up again, and Imesha Dulani hits it down the ground to long on and picks up another single. It's been a sad thing, isn't it, for Sri Lanka? They have not been able to make a semi-final of a Women's World Cup. Slot sweep again from Atapattu, 1 bounce and 4. Well, yesterday she gave an interview saying that it's a pain of not making the semi-finals of a World Cup, and she called herself as a failure as a captain and all those things. And I think all that anger now is coming into this innings for Sri Lankan captain as she brings up her half century here. 52 from 30 balls with 10 boundaries at a strike rate of 173.33. Vintage Chamari Atapattu on show. The 6 runs have come from this over. Last ball of the over coming up. Oh, short and wide. Cut away again. It's in the gap again. And that will run away, will it? Stopping in the outfield, and the fielder goes after it. They'll pick up another couple of runs to finish the over. 8 runs came from that over from Kara Murray. And Sri Lanka women are 63 without loss after 7 overs. There's a match remaining after this as well. Australia will be taking on Pakistan, and you would think that Australia should win that game easily, because Pakistan team who's losing to Bangladesh and India cannot beat Australia, isn't it? Although Pakistan women challenged Australia in the 50 over World Cup last year. Australia women were 76 for 7 or something in that one day World Cup. And we thought, oh, maybe Pakistan were going to upset Australia. But then Beth Mooney played a single-handed knock, scored a century and saved Australia that day. Pakistan did give a scare to Australia. If anyone remembers, Women's ODI World Cup match in Colombo, you can Google search it. Pakistan women taking on Australia women last year ODI World Cup. Australia really struggled. They're batting 76 for 7. They could have been bowled out under 100, but that didn't happen. No, you wanted to know about who is going to face Australia in the semi-finals, right? In this group, England's group, the winner of England versus West Indies is going to top the group. That is for sure. And Australia are going to top the other group, in which India and South Africa are there. So it will only be 1 versus 2 and 2 versus 1 in both the groups. So the loser of West Indies versus England has more chances of facing Australia in the semi-finals. And we don't know who is going to be the second team from the other group as well. It can be South Africa, or it can even be India, because that will depend on the result of India versus Australia. And I will be open and honest, it is not impossible for India to defeat Australia. For other teams to defeat Australia, it might look impossible. But India have shown it in the previous one-day International World Cup, and they just won a T20 series in Australia earlier this year, if anyone remembers. In Australia, they won a T20 series in February or March. So if anyone is capable of beating Australia, India are capable of doing it. So that is definitely not impossible. So unless that result comes, we don't know who is that second team who is going to qualify. But the loser of West Indies versus England have more chances of facing Australia in the semis, because Australia are surely going to top the other group. I don't see anything changing as far as that is concerned. So that is what I was saying. 6 runs came from that over from Kara Moore, and Sri Lanka women are 69 without loss after 8 overs. So at the moment, Sri Lanka going along really comfortably. It's not looking as though Ireland are struggling here, in all honesty. In fact, previous over was bowled by Lara McBride. Now only Kara Moore is coming back into the attack, into her second over. That's pulled away in the air. Oh, it's been put down. It's been put down at mid-wicket. Goodness gracious me. That just sums up the day for Ireland women, you would think. And Himesha Dulani picks up another single. That's a regulation catch, in all honesty. You need to take your catches. Even if that catch had been taken, it looks like the game is gone for Ireland, but at least you can make a match out of it. Try and do something. That's a slog sweep. You can't do anything when Atapattu plays shots like this. That's gone deep into the stands for another 6. It's an Atapattu show today. And Ireland are not looking, they are looking clueless at the moment. Just 54 more needed now. First 6 of this innings for Sri Lanka, and comes out off the bat of Chamari Atapattu. So 3 more deliveries left in the over. Atapattu 62 from 36 balls. Oh, that's beautifully bowled. Pulled her length back there, Kara Moore. And Atapattu defends it again. Now the only question is, can Sri Lanka win this game by 10 wickets? Well, I think Sri Lanka can use this opportunity to try and improve their net run rate a little bit. Because you never know actually. Because as far as Sri Lanka and New Zealand are concerned, the loser of West Indies versus England needs to lose their remaining game as well. Only then Sri Lanka and New Zealand will be alive. Because if both West Indies and England win even one more game, then Sri Lanka and New Zealand will be knocked out. That is the brutality of this format. So they are dependent on other results. Last ball of the over coming up. That's swept again, straight to square leg. Another dot ball to finish the over. 9 runs came from that over from Kara Moore. And Sri Lanka women are 78 without loss after 9 overs. But I think between West Indies and England, I think England women should be favourites to win that game. But you never know actually, because if there is any team that is a nemesis for England when it comes to T20 World Cups, I'm sure England fans will be knowing more about West Indies than any other team. Because you look at men's T20 World Cup this year, West Indies defeated England. You look at the women's T20 World Cup in 2024, where England were cruising along in that tournament. That was a very strange kind of a tournament where England were cruising along, defeated South Africa, defeated Bangladesh, defeated Scotland. Suddenly, the last game they lost to West Indies and they got eliminated by net run rate, if anyone remembers. England got eliminated in the group stage of the previous Women's T20 World Cup. Just after losing one game, they lost against West Indies. West Indies qualified, England got eliminated. And West Indies made it to the semi-final. Another matter, West Indies lost against New Zealand in the semis, but they eliminated England in the process. So West Indies are kind of a bogey team when it comes to facing England in T20 World Cups. Obviously, no one can forget Carlos Brathwaite in 2016 as well. West Indies have always haunted England in T20 World Cups in both genders, whether it's men's cricket or women's cricket. So you always need to be wary of West Indies if you are an England fan. That is for sure. Himesha Dulani is back on strike. So England might be favourites to win that game, but West Indies are a very, very funny team. You never know when they can produce a surprise. They are also former champions, by the way, of this Women's T20 World Cup. They won it in 2016. 2016 was their year actually. They won the Men's Under-19 World Cup. They won the Men's T20 World Cup. They won the Women's T20 World Cup. They just ruled that year in 2016. Goes for the drive again, straight to point. Another dot ball here. Three more deliveries left in this over. Oh, inside edge, past the keeper. They'll run away for 4. Luck favouring. No, it won't run away for 4. Oh, good fielding. Good fielding. So just a single for Himesha Dulani. Thought for a moment maybe that was running away. Chamari Atapattu is back on strike. 51 more needed now for Sri Lanka. That's glorious drive through the covers once again from Chamari Atapattu and picks up another boundary. What a shot that is. Flowing drive there from the captain, continuing her good form with the bat. Picks up yet another boundary, brings the equation down to 47 needed now. This time it's a full toss and Atapattu tries it in the gap again. Running away. Won't reach the boundary, but Chamari Atapattu will pick up another couple of runs to finish the over. So 8 runs came from that over from Arain Kelly, and Sri Lanka women are 86 without loss after 10 overs. Just 45 more needed from the last 10 overs. .45 needed now. What a partnership this is. Can Sri Lanka win this by 10 wickets? Improve their net run rate. Well, let's have a look at Sri Lanka's net run rate actually. So this is the current points table in all honesty, and Sri Lanka's net run rate is minus 1.913. Their net run rate is below Scotland. So they have to improve their net run rate if they want to have an outside chance if results go their way. Like for example, now England and West Indies both are on 6 points. As I said, one of them is surely going to 8 points because both of them face each other. But in case the loser of West Indies versus England loses their remaining game, hypothetical scenario, then New Zealand and Sri Lanka will be alive. In that case, New Zealand are having a better net run rate than Sri Lanka if you look at current proceedings. So it's a very important thing for Sri Lanka to improve their net run rate so that anything happens. Obviously, you cannot control what happens to other teams, but in case other destiny favors you, other teams loses, then you need to be in a good position to qualify, isn't it? At the moment, New Zealand are in a better placed position if results go their way. Let's cut away again by Himesh Adulani, finds the gap again, that will be 4 more. Short and wide there from Kara Amure, and punished once again from Himesh Adulani. And picks up another boundary. Sri Lanka more getting closer and closer to the target. Well, this time Himesh Adulani going for the sweep. Appeal fell with W, but umpire says not out. And Ireland discussing whether to go for the review or not. Are they going to go for it? I think they're not going to go for it. So far, if you look at this particular group, or in fact, they have gone for the review. So I need to have a look at this one. But if you look at this group, Ireland women and Scotland women have been officially eliminated. Both of them have been officially eliminated because they cannot get to 6 points. And that was expected, in fact. No, I don't think anyone ever expected Ireland and Scotland to qualify for the semi-final. And rightfully, both of them have been eliminated. So the battle is between England, West Indies, New Zealand and Sri Lanka for the semi-finals. England and West Indies are much better placed to qualify for the semi-final. New Zealand and Sri Lanka need results to go their way. And they also need to win their remaining games for them to qualify for the semi-finals. Which question are you asking? The viewer says, what about my question above? Which question? I said, isn't it? Like you asked about what are the permutations for the team to face Australia in the semi-final. I answered that, isn't it? What other question do you want? You can ask it in the chat box. As we see, no bat involved here for Himesh Adulani. Is pitched in line, impact is outside the line, so the decision will remain not out, and Ireland have lost a review, and I think that review was taken more out of desperation, you would think, because the wickets have not fallen for Sri Lanka. So desperately needing a wicket, that's why they went for the review there. So yeah, whatever question you want, you can ask in the chat box, I'll answer it here. 2 more deliveries left in this over. That's flicked away again by Himesh and picks up another single. So Sri Lanka are going to keep their hopes alive of qualifying for the semi-final. That is for sure. Even though the hope might be a minor hope, hope is still a hope. What was said between Attapattu and De Silva? What did I say about Attapattu? No, she gave an interview yesterday as she has been playing 18 years for Sri Lanka, and unfortunately she has not taken Sri Lanka to a World Cup semi-final till now. Is that what you're asking? So she said that she considers herself as a failed captain. That is what Samari Attapattu was saying. But I think I think she shouldn't be too harsh on herself, because she won the Women's Asia Cup in 2024 against India. That's a big achievement in itself, winning an Asia Cup against favorites India, beating them in the final. So yes, they couldn't make it to a World Cup semi-final, but World Cups, Sena teams are very good in World Cups, and India is also very good. So in that case, Sri Lanka always starts with less chances to make it to the semi-final. So I think she shouldn't be too harsh on herself, but she said that she's a failed captain. Is that what you're asking, or anything else? That is what I was saying actually. Like she was having some interview yesterday. So yeah, that is the thing. So 10 runs came from that over from Kara Murray, and Sri Lanka women are 96 without loss after 11 overs. And I think that anger is what has translated into this kind of a knock from Chamari Attappattu. But I think she should have played this knock against West Indies, because that match was the crucial game. Now imagine if Sri Lanka had defeated West Indies in that previous game, and then they defeat Ireland and Scotland, they will be 4 wins in 5 games, and they will be front runners to go through to the semi-final. But unfortunately, they missed out that opportunity, because you need to be able to, like, they defeated New Zealand. After that, they had a very good chance of making it to the semi-final, because you know you're going to play 2 games against Scotland and Ireland. But you need to be able to find out which is the important match for you in that group, and you need to be able to win that game, because you know you are going to be playing against 2 lower ranked teams. The important game was against West Indies. They lost that game. That's why West Indies are in a better place situation to qualify for the semi-final. For example, for India, the important matches are against Australia and South Africa. So India have lost against South Africa now. They have to defeat Australia, otherwise they are going to get knocked out. If South Africa win their remaining games, which I think they will, like the lower ranked teams are not going to. It will be very tough for the lower ranked teams to upset all these higher ranked teams. That is for sure. No, like India won 2-1 in Australia earlier this year. They won the T20 series in Australia, but they lost the ODI series and they lost the Test match. They won only the T20 series, and they won it convincingly. Actually, there were good performances with the bat and ball for India. Actually, they thoroughly deserved to win that series, and that is why I'm saying, like, if there is any team that can defeat Australia, India can do it. There was a one-off Test match as well. If anyone remembers, Alisa Healy's last tour. After that, she retired from international cricket. It was her last ODI series, last Test match. She didn't play the T20s. The T20s was played by Georgia Vole and all those new people. And India women managed to win that T20 series. So 2 runs have come from this over, still 1 ball left. Orla Prendergast has bowled really well so far. Last ball of the over. Oh, bowled! Cleaned her up. That's a beauty of a delivery of 98 from 72 balls has come to an end, going straight through the defense of Himesha Dulani. But she can be proud of herself. She's given some good support to Chamari Attappattu in this run chase, but that ball nipped back of a length and crashes into middle stump, and one was thinking whether Sri Lanka can win this game by 10 wickets, but not to be. They've lost a wicket, so they won't be winning this by 10 wickets, that is for sure. Because if you are winning any game by 10 wickets, then that will mean that it has been a hammering, but it's not the case now. So Himesha Dulani is out after scoring 20 from 27 balls, and Sri Lanka women are 98 for 1 after 12 overs. Yeah, I mean, like Alisa Healy didn't play the T20 series. She played only the ODI series and Test match, and she said that it was the last tour for her, and she is going to retire from international cricket. That is what she said. But Sophie Molyneux was the captain in the T20 series. Alisa Healy didn't play the T20 series, and still India women managed to win that series. They won it 2-1. And WPL experience is really helping India women do well in T20s. So definitely they can defeat Australia. Well, Atapattu again goes big and goes for 4. Magyar back into the attack. It doesn't matter whether a wicket is fallen at the other end. Atapattu is going to continue to play her shots. 100 comes up for Sri Lanka. 100 comes up in 12.1 overs. This time goes down the ground. Long off coming round, will only watch. It sails over for 6. 4 and a 6 from Chamari Atapattu. She's in a hurry to finish this run chase and get the net run rate up into the positives. This tournament is still alive, that is for sure. This time again, Atapattu hits it down the ground to long off and picks up another single. Nilakshi De Silva is the new batter to the crease. A hero win in the game against New Zealand. A famous win against New Zealand in this tournament. She scored a half century, match-winning half century in that game. But in this situation, there's not much to do actually. Just 21 needed for Sri Lanka. As Nilakshi sweeps leg side towards deep mid-wicket and gets off the mark with a single. Yeah, that is true actually, but who else do you make as a captain? You need to look at the future, isn't it? Sophie Molyneux is considered as a future, and I think she won the Women's Big Bash League for Melbourne Renegades last year. That is when we realized that, okay, Sophie Molyneux has captaincy ability. For the first time, Melbourne Renegades ladies won the Big Bash League, the Women's Big Bash League they won in 2024-2025. And she is also so young, so they're trying to look at future point of view to see whether she can captain for a long period of time. So that is why she was made as the captain. As we see another boundary here for Atapattu. Is she looking at a century here? Moves to 90 from 49 balls now. With 14 boundaries and 2 maximums. At a strike rate of 183.67. Terrific knock here. 16 runs have come from this over. Australia women are also going through a transition phase with so many players. Alisa Healy has retired. A few other players are also, you would think, closer to retirement. So they will also, I think, go through a transition period, you would think, at some point of time. And I think Sophie Molyneux is a good choice of captaincy, at least if you're looking at the future. Just like how Shubman Gill has been appointed as captain of India. Maybe Shubman Gill is also a long-term option. New captains will always be young only. You're not looking at them only for a short period of time, isn't it? You're looking at long-term. Whether they can captain for a long time. That is what you're looking at. 16 runs came from that over, and Sri Lanka women are 114 for 1 after 13 overs. 17 needed from the last 7 overs. So Magyar, in fact another bowler is into the attack. Orla Prendergast is back into the attack. Has pulled away again by Nilakshi De Silva towards deep square leg. Another single. 16 needed, and Chamari Atapattu needs 10 for a century here. Can she get it? Absence of net. So there are many. So we from 58 balls. She has got to the century and now the girls are fitting that from 58 balls. She has got to the century and now the girls are fitting that Chamari Attapattu is. This time pulled in the air by Attapattu. Deep mid wicket, one bounce to deep mid wicket, and Attapattu will come back for 2 to finish off that over. 9 runs came from that over from Kelly. 9 runs came from that over from Arlene Kelly. And Sri Lanka women are 129 for 1 after 15 overs with just 2 more runs needed for victory. Couple of runs in fact for Attapattu. So Nilakshi De Silva will be back on strike. And 2 more runs needed for victory for Sri Lanka women. So hopefully the video is alright now for the viewers. Just 2 more runs needed now for victory. The match is almost over. McBride is back into the attack here. Lara McBride back into the attack. And Nilakshi De Silva again comes down the wicket, hits it leg side towards deep mid wicket and picks up another single to start the over. Attapattu is back on strike on 102 from 59 balls. We were wondering whether she can get to her century. She has got it. Sri Lanka, the scores are level now. Just 1 more run needed. It's been a dominating performance from Sri Lanka. They are improving their net run rate as well. Just 1 needed now. Attapattu on strike. Pulled away again by Attapattu. Straight to the fielder though. Dot ball from McBride. Third ball of the over. Tossed up, comes down the wicket, hits it through the covers for 4. That's a way to finish the game for Chamari Attapattu and Sri Lanka women. What a dominating performance this has been. Chasing a target of 131. It's been and Chamari Attapattu show. She was a little frustrated yesterday after losing to West Indies. Their qualification was in doubt. And in the interview yesterday, she was not happy at all. And she's poured all that anger into her performance today. They say angry people are the more dangerous people because they tend to perform better when they are angry. And that is what Chamari Attapattu has proved today. A terrific century here. And Sri Lanka women have completely outplayed Ireland women in all 3 departments today. But again, this is the same problem for Sri Lanka women. You would think if Chamari Attapattu performs and bats through the innings, they don't have any problem. But if Chamari Attapattu gets out early, then the remaining batters are having problems. But for today, Chamari Atapattu has batted through this run chase. So there's no problem whenever Atapattu bats like this. That is what Sri Lanka have proved, and Sri Lanka have slightly improved their net run rate, but their net run rate is still in negatives. At least they have got their net run rate above Scotland. That is one good thing which they have done, but they need to improve it a little more, because New Zealand's net run rate is, even though New Zealand have lost against West Indies and Sri Lanka, New Zealand's net run rate is much better than Sri Lanka and the other teams. So definitely, but New Zealand also need results to go their way if they need to qualify. And more importantly, New Zealand need West Indies to defeat England, because then it will be between New Zealand versus England might become a virtual knockout as well. I mean, I'm just assuming we'll give a permutation and combination. Let's see the points table here. You already saw the points table, you can see it again. So Sri Lanka have now improved their net run rate, they have gone above Scotland. But both England and West Indies have a better net run rate than New Zealand. That is the important point here. So even if New Zealand level points with England or West Indies, New Zealand need to win by a massive margin. Even if results go their way, New Zealand need to win by a massive margin their remaining two games if they want to. In fact, New Zealand have only one match left, and that is against the hosts England. And New Zealand need to win by a massive margin if they want to overtake the net run rate of England. It's looking very tough for New Zealand women to catch England women's net run rate, because England's net run rate is plus 2.490. West Indies net run rate is plus 0.644. New Zealand also have a positive net run rate, plus 0.122. But realistically, if you look at things, New Zealand can try to cross the net run rate of West Indies. But even that is looking like a mountain as far as New Zealand is concerned. So even if results go the way of New Zealand women, there is a chance that they might miss out on qualification, because net run rate difference is slightly too much between the top three teams. That is what you would think. Sri Lanka's net run rate, though, is still in the negatives. They need to bring it to the positives. They need to defeat Scotland in their remaining game by an even bigger margin. At least get it into the positives, but it's very tough actually. It's almost over for Sri Lanka. They cannot qualify for the semi-final. This is exactly why you need to win those virtual quarterfinals which are there in the group. If you lose those games, then you cannot qualify. That loss against West Indies will hurt Sri Lanka. They should have defeated West Indies. If you are able to defeat New Zealand, then you have to be able to defeat West Indies. But they couldn't do it, and that is why Sri Lanka's campaign is going to come to an end. But nevertheless, a terrific century today, which at least mathematically keeps Sri Lanka alive in the tournament. Chamari Atapattu, one batter show today, 106, unbeaten on 106 from 61 balls, with 17 boundaries and 2 maximums at a strike rate of 173.77. And Himesha Dulani also providing some really good support, 20 from 27 balls with 3 boundaries at a strike rate of 74.07. And Nilakshi De Silva didn't have much to do, just 4 from 5 balls. The opening partnership of 98 from 72 balls really set up the run chase for Sri Lanka women today. And then if you look at Ireland's bowlers today, well, not much reward for any of the bowlers. They only posted 130 on the board, which I thought was a really good recovery from the kind of position Ireland were at the start of their innings. To reach 130 in itself was an achievement, thanks to a half century from Gaby Lewis. But unfortunately for Ireland, their bowlers couldn't defend the total. Amy Maguire, none for 35 in her 3 overs. Orla Prendergast, 1 for 22 in her 4 overs. Arlene Kelly, none for 27 in her 3 overs. Lara McBride, none for 22 in her 2.3 overs. And Cara Murray, none for 27 in her 3 overs as well. Only 1 wicket fell in the innings, and that wicket was picked up by Orla Prendergast, 1 for 22 in her 4 overs. So dominating win here from Sri Lanka women by 9 wickets and mathematically keeping their chances of qualifying for the semi-finals still alive. And this tournament is becoming very exciting as it moves forward. Tomorrow though, England women will be taking on West Indies women. The much awaited clash is happening tomorrow, where the winner of tomorrow's game will definitely top this group. That is for sure. The loser will finish second, minimum. The winner of tomorrow's game will top the group and a chance to avoid playing against Australia in the semi-final if you can qualify for the semi-final. That will be the game tomorrow. And then day after tomorrow, there is India women will be taking on Bangladesh, and then South Africa will be taking on Netherlands, and then a lot of games coming up, a lot of interesting games coming up, that is for sure. England women, they are doing well though. I mean, they are missing Nat Silverbrunt because Nat Silverbrunt has gotten injured in her calf. But Charlie Dean is leading England well in the absence of Nat Silverbrunt, and Sophia Dunkley performed really well in the previous game. So that will give them a lot of confidence going forward in this tournament. They are the hosts as well. Normally, England women's team have done well when it comes to home World Cups. 2009 Women's T20 World Cup happened in England, and England ended up winning that World Cup. And then 2017 the Women's ODI World Cup happened in England, and again England ended up winning. So whenever England are hosting a World Cup, you need to watch out for England because they become a dangerous team. When they become the hosts, they become a dangerous team. And then not to forget the 2019 Men's ODI World Cup as well, which England were hosting, and England again ended up winning that World Cup as well. So when England are the hosts, they become the slight favourites, you would think, because they know the conditions more than any other team. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting game tomorrow between West Indies and England. On one end, England are the favourites because they are the hosts of this tournament. And on the other end, there is a team which has been a bogey team as far as England is concerned. West Indies are always a bogey team, or you can call it nemesis. You can call it whatever you want. If there is one team that has been like that for England, that is West Indies. So that is why West Indies versus England is an underrated rivalry in itself, and that is going to be a very, very exciting match to watch out for. So yeah, we'll be back again tomorrow to cover those matches. So until we come back again, please like, share and subscribe to our channel Runs and Views. Take care guys, cheers and good night.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share.